Hello, welcome back to the channel. I'm Luca, your Android developer, and in today's video I'm gonna show you how I set up a clean install of Android Studio. So I'm gonna go through plugins, key maps, compact mode, the account, design tool, trusted location, SDK, action on save, download location, and many more things that I want in my personal Android Studio setup in order to work on it daily. So as you can see here, I have the Android Studio Windows. It's the Hedgehog 2023.1.1. So we're gonna go with customize immediately. Then we'll keep on dark, and we will also keep the IDE font to 13. Then let's go with some plugins to install. So one a must install for me, it's IDB IDEA. It allows you to basically clear up data, uninstall the application, kill the app, start the app, restart with debugger, clear the app and restart the debugger, revoke permission on the app. It's so handy. I don't know what I would do without it. So that said, let's go through a few other ones. Top downloads, for example, there must be something. I want the git ignore just to be able to recognize the git ignore files. Rainbow brackets, it's another really cool feature. It basically colors the brackets in your editor, which is really nice. Square bracket places anything. Okay. It requires another plugin to be installed. I've just installed it as well. So if you're not familiar with key bindings in your editor, you might want to install Key Promoter X. What it does, it's basically show a pop-up every time you perform an action that has a key binding assigned to it. It will show you that you missed the key binding and did it with your with the mouse, basically, which is handy in order to learn some of the basic key bindings that Android Studio provides. So those are all the ones that are in the marketplace without any search at all. Don't know if you want a DTO generator, Genymotion, but I usually don't use them, so I'm not gonna install them in my personal setup. What I usually do is change the build progress bar. So if we just gonna search for progress bar, there are some nice one. One is the Nyan Cat progress bar, which shows the Nyan Cat. One is the Pokemon. You can choose it to have to be colored, just black and white. There are a few of them, or the Pokemon Trainer, which is also really nice. I used to have this one in my previous installation. I see there are new ones like the Mario progress bar and the Duck progress bar. Don't really like the Duck progress bar, to be honest. Yo progress bar, it's just, yeah, different ones all in one. Sonic, no screenshots. Naruto progress bar. But I think I'll go with the Pokemon Trainer and see afterwards if I want to enable it or not. Let's say that I usually also install the material theme UI, but I've seen that the latest ones, it's really nice, and I don't feel the need to install a theme on top of it, which actually might slow down your installation. So it requires a restart of the IDE, so I'm gonna do a quick restart in order to go ahead. Cool. So that said, the plugins are done. We can open the all settings. So in appearance, let's see if I want to change something. Yeah. So I usually enable the compact mode, which basically creates a bit more compact icons and showcase all of them. Then in the editor, in the font setting, I usually enable ligatures, so you can see here how they actually change if it's enable or disable. You basically get a nice representation of major equals, arrows, and so on. So that's done as well. Then in the editor, okay, so in the code style, for both Java and Kotlins, I usually will use single class import and use fully qualified names always, and then I usually remove all of those because I want them to be singles import and not with the asterisk in the import. So I usually remove all of them. So both for Java and for Kotlin, we said, yeah, use single name, use single names, and here I'm gonna remove all of those. All right, perfect. So then I want to design tools. I usually have drawables with the split design, other resources, layout, menu, and navigation in code, compose file in code, and other Kotlin file in code always, because I don't want to see the representation, because I usually have either the Android Studio emulator running with what I want to see or a mirroring of the physical device. Speaking of which, we could go with mirroring and activate mirroring when a new physical device is connected and when when we launch an app on a physical device. So let's go back to the enter settings. One of the last thing I will go through will be the key map, and I'll show you. Another thing is the download location. You can change the download location where you usually download files from the device explorer. I usually save them in my download folder, which is quite straightforward. Then the trusted location are another really nice thing. I usually save all my Android project in one folder only, which is my work folder in my PC. So I usually add them, so I'm not prompt with the do you want to trust this project every time I open or create a new project. Then there's another thing, which is action on save, and I usually want to reformat the code and optimize import in every file I have when I save the file, which saves me pressing the key bindings for formatting and optimizing the imports. Then there is a confirm before exit, which is in the system setting, and confirm before exiting the IDE. I don't want it. And then reopen project on startup, and then I want the new projects to open in a new Windows. And that should be almost everything I do in my... Oh, one another thing, I'm not sure it can be done from here. No, it can't. You need to actually open a project to do so, which is nice. I'll do it later. And so let's go with the key map. The default one is macOS, but I usually have a few things that I change, which makes my life easier. So if you look at it, there is the project structure, which should be Command 2. Did I show it? Project structure. No, project structure is command project directory. It's Command 2, which I don't want it to be Command 2, because for Command 2 I usually want to have build variants. So in the main menu, build variants, I'm gonna add keyboard shortcut, and it will be Command 2. And it will say that it's already assigned to other things. I will click OK and click remove in order to remove these particular key bindings from existing ones where it was assigned. Then another thing is build or rebuild project, which is here. I usually assign a keyboard of Command Option Shift B, which is not used anywhere, and it's so handy to rebuild your project with just the that shortcut. Another shortcut I usually use is the terminal. So the terminal is opening terminal. No, terminal. Where is the terminal? Opening terminal, I guess. I think it's this one. Which I usually use command 3 because I don't care about the plugins in Java, and always remove from existing ones. Then what do we want to have as well? The debug tool. To run a debug, it's Ctrl D, which is perfect. But if I want to open the debugger menu, I usually use the thing. There we go. It's command 5, which is great. So we're still missing command 4, which we could use for the logcut. And there we go. Logcut plugins, toggle logcut formatting. I guess this is the one. I will try. I might be wrong. So add keyboard, command 4, run tool in Windows. Yeah, that's fine. Remove. So all of this, it's done. I will click apply to apply all the changes I did. Click OK, then go to project, and I'm gonna open an existing project in the work folder. And this is a pretty basic application just created, so it has nothing. So just to summarize the keyboard shortcuts that I created, it's command 1, it opens the project, perfect, open and closes. Select build variants is not available during indexing, I just try command 2. Command 3 does nothing. Command 4, okay. Command 5, it's open the debug, and that's all. Last thing I wanted to do was to log in. So in order to log in, I'm already logged in. I did it before the video, but in order to log in into your Google account, you will need to tap on this icon here on the screen, and it will open a browser page where you will need to log in with your Google account. And that's it for the Android Studio setup. Another thing I usually do, but it has nothing to do with Android Studio itself. It's change and add a few things in the ZSHRC profile, and those things are a few aliases I love to use, so those are the aliases I'm gonna use, and I'll show you what I usually use. This is still okay going, so I'm gonna just create a new file, pass it here, and increase the size so everyone can read it. So I created a few aliases in order to have Git commands which are easier for me to run. So for example, if I want to pull, I just git pull and send, git push, git force push as well. GC is git checkout, GB is git branch, and GBC is git checkout and -b, which create a branch and check it out. And then gcommit basically allows me to run this command with I can just open the text message and send the message. God will add everything into Git. And then I also have a last one, which is this one, which is delete branches. And this one for me deletes everything, every branch I have in my local repository except the one named main. If you want to change which one you want to avoid and prevent deleting, it's really important that you change this particular part of the command here. And that's all. That's to summarize. everything I do in Android Studio before actually using it as a mainly developer tool for developing Android application. Thanks for watching.